and Insert Coins of Riverside Magazine. I'm sitting here with Claudio the Man. How's it going, Claudio?
All right, how are you, Ryan?
Doing very, very well. It's nice to finally meet you in person.
Oh, thanks.
So I was hoping just to sit down with you for a couple of minutes and maybe get some updates regarding Armory Roll Wars, maybe some Coheed updates, and whatever else you want to talk about.
You got it.
So first and foremost, you're going on tour with Coheed. Are you guys on tour right now? Or?
Actually, we leave for Asia on Tuesday. We're doing Shanghai, China, in China. Mount Fuji Festival. A couple other Korea. We're doing a bunch of stuff, and then we go out and do Uproar Festival with Alice in Chains and Jane's Addiction.
Right on, very cool. I actually saw a video of you guys covering, I think, Gautier a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest covers I've ever heard. It was
thanks.
out of your guys' realm, but I just wanted to give you props on that because that was seriously so cool. So that was my favorite cover I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So what about the comics and everything like that? I saw an EP was out here. What's the story with the EP?
Well, the EP is actually just my side stuff called the Prizefighter Inferno, which is just another avenue that I explore when I'm not doing Coheed in terms of the music. So that was something we released in a couple of different colorways. But Amory Wars, right now we're actually working on a follow-up to the Innkeeping Secret story arc, which is Good Apollo 1, From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. We're at the moment just really outlining that, and just trying to figure out the right schedule to start pushing it and putting it out.
Cool, very cool. So how does everything fit into the Coheed universe and the Armory Wars? It's all combined, but how does it kind of play into everything? I know it's like a different way to tell the story, and it's all the same story, correct?
Yes, it's one arc. It follows the main character from his origin to his demise, basically. It's a science fiction epic. Each story coincides with the album of the same name, so they all act as sort of chapters. And that's pretty much it, really, yeah.
Very cool. Right on. So who kind of inspires you in the comic book realm? I mean, I know you're a comic book fan. You've been reading them for years. Who's kind of your big inspiration? What arcs and what creators?
Alan Moore's Watchmen is certainly one. I also really loved Transmetropolitan, Warren Ellis. Grant Morrison right now, I'm sort of kind of revisiting all of his stuff. Also, I liked Jodo, Alejandro Jodorowsky with Meta Barons and Inkle, the Techno Priest, so things like that.
Very cool. Yeah, Grant Morrison doesn't write a bad story. I haven't yet to find a bad Grant Morrison story. It's amazing. Doom Patrol's, his take on Doom Patrol is amazing.
Actually, I just reread the Crawling Through the Wreckage mini, and that's one of the things about Good Apollo 1 that I find is the idea of that Amory War story is that the reality and the fiction sort of meet and become one, and that's like a big sort of thing that happens within that Crawling Through the Wreckage story arc, where the fiction sort of makes its way into reality and sort of starts sort of kind of like that same kind of idea. So I really enjoyed rereading that, and just kind of seeing that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions we kind of do on every video interview. So if you don't mind, we're going to do some out-of-the-box ones.
Okay.
Alrighty, so do you play video games at all?
I do.
Okay, favorite video game of the past 20 years? Let's do 80s, 90s, and modern.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Let's really get into it. And favorite character from a video game as well. If you can, if not, it's not a big deal.
80s, 90s, I got to really think about this. It's been so long.
Sure.
Well, I guess Super Mario Brothers, really, of the 80s. When I didn't have a Nintendo and my friends did, it was like the game they were playing. So over the shoulder, just I need to have this.
I love that, yeah. It's so different now with video games. But yeah, the over-the-shoulder play was just as important as the person playing it.
Totally. 90s, what was in the 90s?
Super Nintendo, there was Sega Genesis, there was Sega Drive. It was mostly Sonic and new Mario idioms. Earthworm Jim was actually my favorite. Did you ever play Earthworm Jim?
No.
Earthworm Jim was great.
I didn't have Genesis. That was a Genesis.
It was Super Nintendo and Genesis. I think it
was
was on both, yeah. And the humor in that is just, it's twisted. I'm kind of a child of the 90s, so when I look back at those games that I played back then and I realize the dark humor and the twist, it makes me crack up. And Earthworm Jim's one of the prime examples. How did I play this as a kid? My parents didn't care. That was my 90s.
I think my 90s would have to be like a Ninja Turtles arcade game or something like that, like a Turtles in Time or something. Just because you would always want that to come to one of the platforms. And when they did come to the platforms, they were never nearly quite as as clean.
Because you weren't feeding quarters into the machine, you weren't earning it. That's how I see it anyway.
But yeah, so that would be that. And I think right now, Halo, just because every time that title comes out, I always, I haven't been playing video games nearly as much as I did.
Well, you're a busy dude. I mean, you're doing absolutely everything there is to do in the entertainment world. Like, there's always something new from you. It's amazing.
Thanks, man. but that's like one of the titles. I like the Batman Arkham games.
Oh, yeah.
God of War, I'll usually play when that releases a title. So, but I think Halo is the one that it's like, I put everything aside.
Did you play the most recent one, Halo 4?
I did, yeah.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I thought so,
It was a surprise hit. And then there's a new Batman game coming out in that Arkham series, actually.
Arkham Origin?
Yeah, seems really cool. So, last question. If you listen to hip-hop, favorite hip-hop album of all time?
Camp Lo.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, we usually get answers to that, like, Wu-Tang, which is fine. But, that was a very unique answer. Right on. All right, was there anything else you wanted to kind of push on the show? Or
No, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
I'm Claudio from Coheed and Cambria.
He's the man.